and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the Ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about the new moon in Taurus, and this is occurring on the 11th of May, 2021 at 21 degrees of Taurus, which is really interesting if you guys have been following when we were talking all through 2020 about all of the consecutive dates or numbers or aspects of astrological events that we're including these ones, these twos, and these zeros, and how we're sort of recoding the matrix, so to speak. So I think it's interesting that we have a new moon here at 21 degrees. And yeah, this is a powerful new moon, as they always are. As we know, during a new moon, we have the sun and the moon who are conjunct. They're meeting together in the sky. Their energy is combining. And so this is like the feminine and the masculine aspects of our nature, right? We have that feminine energy, which is that receptive, intuitive, emotional energy, right? Our instinctual drives. And then we have the sun, which is our consciousness, our ego, our understanding and awareness of ourselves. So these two aspects blending together, really combining their energy to create, right? New moons are all about manifestation. They're all about creation. They're all about the new seeds that we are planting. And during this new moon, we also have true black moon making a conjunction to the sun and the moon. True black moon represents the wild feminine. She represents the shadow side of the feminine. But even more so, she represents any areas in our lives where we feel as though we have to suppress or repress parts of who we are, due to societal constraints, due to all of these different things. And know that even if you identify genderly, even if your gender is male and you identify as masculine energy, you still have feminine energy within you. We all have a combination of both of these within us. And so there is an aspect of the feminine side of our nature, more specifically and most likely, that we are really bringing into our consciousness. We are, what's the word that I'm looking for when we're integrating it into the fullness of who we are. And this may be something that came up for us that we became aware of around that full moon in Scorpio. There's a lot of unconscious material that is beginning the process of being revealed. That was the initiating force. And as we know, we're going to be revisiting and kind of having a check-in point along these energies when we have that eclipse in Taurus in November. And then we have all the eclipses of 2022 in Taurus and Scorpio, with one final eclipse in this series happening in 2023. So we're going to be working with these energies, bringing the shadow to light, really stepping into the fullness of our being, right? We cannot embody all of our light unless we are able to look at all parts of ourselves and love and integrate all parts of those selves. So the shadow must be integrated. And so this is a deep process that we're undergoing, and we may see something that came to our awareness being fully integrated into our being, into our consciousness, into our conscious understanding of ourselves and how we portray that self in the world during this new moon. We may be moving forward with that energy, with a more full energy of who we are. And this is being assisted by the fact that we have a bisextile going on with Pluto and Neptune. They are doing their thing, trining or sextiling this conjunction of planets here with the sun, the moon, and true black moon. And Pluto and Neptune are, of course, two of the planets that most deeply represent the soul. So we can really see this energy being fully integrated at a soul level as we're ready to fully embody it and step out into the world. And that's very much what this energy is about, is really fully embodying who we are and creating that long-term structured plan of how we're going to get where we're wanting to go. Taurus energy is an energy of longevity. It is an energy of security and stability. Taurus energy, once it sets its sight on a goal, is very focused on that goal and achieves that goal, but it achieves it in its own timing. And we've been learning a lot about that as well. We've been learning about divine timing. We've been learning about our own cycles and how to work within those cycles, right? How to flow within that, be in that creative flow that honors our own personal journey and where it is that we're at. And so this Taurus energy is all about really applying everything that we've learned about that, everything that we've been learning about what it is that we truly value. Taurus is a sign that represents value. The shallow interpretation of Taurus is about materialism, right? But it goes much deeper than that. It's what do we value and how do we want to go after that? right? So this is a beautiful energy for really setting intentions that will weather the test of time, that we feel committed to and we can remain committed to as we move forward, and really figuring out what are those practical steps to get where we're going, right? Taurus is a very practical energy. How does this work? How does this fit? How do we make this happen? That's what Taurus wants to know. And ultimately, Taurus energy, the goal of Taurus energy is to fully embody the energy of presence, to simply be and be content being, right? That's why sometimes we get that analogy of Taurus as the cow lying in the grass, just kind of bathing in the sun, taking in the moment. So that's just, that's some of the deeper energy of Taurus. But it is that beautiful Venusian energy. And so we really are looking at what can we add to our lives that's going to bring us more enjoyment as well, that's going to bring that sense of fulfillment, that sense of enjoyment, that sense of stability and security that we crave. And yes, we always want to be open to change, but with this energy, we're very much looking at what we can build and how we can build it. We have some really supportive astrology going on, and I'm not going to get into all of the technicalities of it all, but we have a bisextile going on between Mercury, Chiron, and Saturn. And we also have a mystic triangle going on between Mercury, Saturn, and the South Node. And Mercury is conjunct the North Node during this new moon. And so this is powerful energy, because what these two what would I call them, major aspects are showing us or indicating to us is that this is a time of really putting into practice the wisdom that we've gained through the painful experiences that we've had, through the healing that we've had to do, through the exposure of the wounds that we're ready to be healed, right? All of this work that we've done, how can we now, right, apply those lessons, apply that wisdom gained from those lessons, right? This is the energy of Saturn, in order to make something happen. And we have Mars sextiling Uranus during this new moon as well, which is really adding to that action-based energy, that making those strides forward and really doing it in a way that's sort of outside of the box, outside of what we've particularly, what we've known in the past. So it's interesting because Taurus energy is very much about the comfort zone, but a lot of these energies supporting the Taurus energy are all about stepping out of that comfort zone. So we're really, it's like we're creating a new comfort zone for ourselves, which is ideally what we're always doing, right? And then once we get comfortable there, we create a new one. And so what does that new comfort zone look like for you? What does that new life, that new world that you are creating for yourself look like? And what is it going to take to get there? And so we're very action oriented. We're planting those seeds of what we want to manifest in the long term. So be thinking during this new moon when you're setting your intentions of what do I want long term? What do I want in 5 years? What do I want in 10 years? And yes, that can always shift and change. Like, we're always open to that, but it's good to have goals, and it's good to at least give the universe a direction in which to move those mountains for you, right? And of course I say move them for you, but we know that there is action involved in our part on that too. I guess it's more like we're moving those mountains together. So I think that pretty much sums up the energy here. We do have a square going on with Mars and Chiron. And so this energy, it's 1 degree off now, which is good. So it's not super, super intense. But it's definitely still there. And what this is doing is just showing us anywhere where there are still things that are hindering or blocking our progress. What else needs to be addressed? What else needs to be healed so that we can really step into this new energy and step into the life that we're creating? All right, we're going to pull some Black Moon astrology cards to start here. Clear. Let's get some guidance from the Black Moon astrology deck. This new moon in Taurus. What is going on here? All right, so we have Scorpio, I transform. So yes, there's that connection to that Scorpio full moon and that deep transformation that we are undergoing. And really kind of taking that transformation, it's kind of like we're taking our new self out for a test drive. And then we have the part of fortune increase. So there is a transformation in a really positive, beneficial way. This is forward momentum. This is abundance, right? This is something that is some area of our lives where we are experiencing a transformation and an increase. What areas of our lives can we look at this? And we have Venus love coming out. So for some people, there's a huge transformation and increase when it comes to your love life, when it comes to your relationships. Also, when it comes to, of course, the ways that you love and value yourself. For some people, this is also finances, because Venus is a planet that represents wealth and finances. Yeah, so there's definitely a transformation and increase for some people around love, relationships, finances. We have the solar eclipse revolution. Oh, this is gorgeous energy coming out. Yes, a love revolution. I love that. That is beautiful. There's so much love and so much beauty coming in for people. This is like, I'm feeling just an increase in the beauty that's present in your life, and an increase in gratitude. And we want to make sure that we maintain that gratitude as these things begin coming in, because that's the energy that allows that to continue to increase and continue to build, right? Oh yeah, so this is beautiful. And that is card number 44. Venus is card 4, so that's 444 right there. And a 7 with Jupiter. Abundance. Yeah, so there's a lot of abundance coming in for people. And this abundance is coming in because of something that we've transformed within ourselves, right? And it's also coming in to transform relationships, to transform situations, to transform different aspects of our lives. Yeah, with the solar eclipse and the Jupiter card here, this is just like, yeah, huge shifts and changes in abundance. And so think for yourself personally at where it is that you've been wanting to create more abundance. Has it been in love? Has it been in friendship and soul connection? Has it been in business or career or finances? Has it been a place that you've been wanting to move, or some risk that you've been wanting to take? Where is it that you are wanting to bring that in? Because that is coming in for people, if we have really allowed this transformation to take root. And we have the Gemini, I think. So it's also a transformation of our minds, of our mental processes, right? And this is what the other series of eclipses that we're going to have throughout 2021 is going to be working with, is belief systems along the Gemini-Sagittarius axis, right? And so a transformation in the way that we think is also what is facilitating this increase in happening, right? What are those habitual thoughts? And what emotions are those thoughts creating, which is then creating our vibration, right? What are our beliefs? What are our beliefs in our own capacities and capabilities? And how are those beginning to shift? And how are we seeing everything else in our outer reality begin to shift as our perception of ourselves and our capabilities is shifting? And then we have the first house coming out with Pluto, transformation. And this says the body. The first house in this deck says the body, right? So there could be physical transformations happening for people. And we did talk about how our DNA is transforming, like activating and transforming in that 555 portal video. If you guys didn't check that out, go and check that out. It's absolutely still relevant. So there are body shifts that are happening in that way. But I also see this as some people with this new moon wanting to really change their appearance and like do something funky, new and different to represent the new person that they are. Some people maybe even been doing something with their appearance, that like getting a tattoo or doing something that memorializes this experience of transformation that they've been going through, right? We have 2 cards representing transformation here. Maybe even for some people, like if there was something that you always wanted to do physically, but you were afraid to do it because of being judged or because it wasn't accepted by either your family or your job or a peer group, like you're going ahead and taking that leap because it's like you want to physically show the transformation that's been going on the inside and how much more confident you are. Right? It's that energy coming through. And this is also, though, the first house represents the self, the identity, the way that we're seen and perceived in the world at that first, initially. Not our larger reputation would be the 10th house, but this is just like how we come across to people, as well as how we understand ourselves. right? Like our basic identity, before we dive deeper into the soul identity, right? But the basic identity. And so there's a transformation in our identity and the ways that we see ourselves. This is a huge transformation. And this is part of this Gemini I think energy, right? It's our perception of ourselves is transforming and changing. Just like we said, our perception of what we're capable of, our perception of who we are and what it is that we have to offer the world. Like that's really expanding. Look at all the expansion with the stars and the cosmos behind this person, right? This also looks like expansion of the light body in this card. That's what I'm seeing right now as well. So there's a lot that is transforming within us that is now beginning to be shown without. And yes, we have Mercury mind on the bottom of the deck. So that mind energy coming in strongly. And the 11th house wanting to pop out. We'll see if it does though. We have the Aries I am energy with the Chiron healing energy. Right? So a healing of identity. Once again, Aries, I am. A healing of when we use the words I am, they are the most powerful words that we can speak. Right? And so what is it that we are speaking into being when we use that phrase? And how is our definition of I am shifting and changing? How are we beginning to heal any aspects in the past? And this is too, like, look at this. Chiron in Aries. Where is Chiron right now? Chiron is currently in the sign of Aries and has been for a while. And we had a lot of powerful energies last year with the Mars transit, Mars and Chiron in Aries together, really conjuncting a couple times, really bringing this deep level of healing to this is our ability to take action. This is our ability, this is our masculine energy, our ability to move forward in our lives, our ability to manifest what it is that we desire. So that energy coming through, and it's a healing of our ability to do that and those wounds that have stood in the way, but they're as that's healing, it's also, or the thing that is most important to heal when we are healing that type of energy is our perception of ourselves. And like we said, our capabilities. What are you capable of? What is possible for you? And so that's really been expanding. And then we have Jupiter return benefits on the bottom of the deck, right? So Jupiter coming out a couple times, bringing in that luck, bringing in that fortune. So just really powerful energies. And as we said, Chiron is active during this new moon, between that square to Mars, which is showing us what's the next thing to be healed, right? Mars is the ruler of Aries. What is that next thing that needs to be healed so we can really fully step into this with both feet, right? Jumping in with both feet is a lot of the energy right now, right? Because Taurus energy may not seem to be doing a whole lot while it is evaluating a situation. But once Taurus energy has committed to something, it jumps in with both feet. And so that's what we're being called to do right now. So is there anything else standing in the way of your ability to do that? Chiron is active in this new moon, showing us that. It's also active, showing us how we've healed this energy, this I am energy, right? This perspective of ourselves, the ways that our mind either complements the image of ourselves that we want to uphold or detracts from it, and sort of healing that energy of detraction, right? And so this is helping us to move forward because we're applying everything that we've learned. We've healed to a great degree, and now we're able to move forward in that healed energy. Also keeping aware of what remains needing to be healed, right? And that would be that South Node energy. What's left that wants to be healed? What's left that wants to be shifted? What's left that wants to be shed? Yeah. And then we have the third house messages coming out with Aquarius. I know. So this is us becoming more confident in our psychic abilities as well, in our abilities to discern, in our abilities to understand information and the ways and means that we receive that information, right? This card to me always represents downloads, right? So getting some really powerful downloads as well for people during this new moon that are really showing you the direction that you're wanting to move in, showing you things that you need to see as well, that you've been trying to understand. So for some people, if you have been in a place where this feels to me like, for some people, it's like your intuition has been telling you something for a while, but there was no there was no way to sort of back that up with any evidence. And so there are messages coming through much more strongly that are going to put you into that sense of knowing and are really going to tie up some loose ends for you, possibly around validation around something that you've known. Validation around something that you've known. And there's also just more messages coming in that are going to clear things up for people. And it's also learning how to trust that. We're really learning how to trust the messages that are coming in, the intuitive messages. And some of those downloads that we have received are fully integrating into our consciousness as well. And with that integration into our consciousness, we step more deeply into this knowing energy. Yeah, this is also some people whose precognitive abilities are becoming stronger as well. That sense of knowing and that claircognizance, precog and claircognizance. Precog is when you know something before it happens, right? You can just sense and feel that energy. And a claircognizance is when you just have that knowing. So that is really strengthening for people as well. So those are some interesting and fun extra messages. Let's pull a couple Moonology cards. Clear. Guidance for this glorious new moon in Taurus. I feel like some people too, if there's been somewhere where you've been on the fence about something, trying to make a decision, you are going to be getting the information that you need. For some, it is coming through downloads, it is coming through epiphanies, it is coming through the integration of messages that you have been receiving, or the finally understanding the messages that have been coming through. If you've been getting signs and synchronicities and you just haven't quite understood how to put them together, that knowing may be coming through. For other people, it's just there's information that you receive somehow, whether it's from an actual person, whether it's a message that you receive, communication that you receive, whatever it is. But you're able to move forward somewhere where you felt stuck, where you felt like you didn't have all the information. You are feeling like you have enough information to move forward now. All right, so we have luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius, that beautiful fiery energy coming in there. Right, and this is also, right, intention. That arrow is focused. That arrow is pointed exactly where it's meant to go before it is released, right? So it's really about also fine-tuning your focus and your intent during this new moon so that you can hit the target, right? And there's a lot of luck, right? We had all that Jupiter energy coming through. We have the Yod Destiny card on the bottom of the deck too, with partners. And so some people may be bringing in a destined partner as well, reconnecting with a destined partner. Or getting some knowledge and understanding about that. I'm also feeling for some people, some of you may be getting messages like telepathic communication from a destined partner or soulmate, twin flame, whatever you want to call that energy. But yeah, luck is on your side. You are blessed right now. Your actions are blessed. So really focus firmly on what you want. Set those firm intentions moving forward and dive in with both feet. And then we have communication is key. Yeah, so it's really important to, like, we're being guided to communicate wherever it is that we need to communicate right now, right? And we do have Mercury in the sign of Gemini. So this is a very communicative energy. And I do believe that Venus is in Gemini as well now that we have this new moon upon us. Venus has been in Gemini. Yep, Venus is at 3 degrees of Gemini. So Venus moved into Gemini a few days ago. So yeah, there's a lot of energy facilitating a communication here. So you're being like, whatever conversations you need to have, whatever it is that you need to do, need to say, or that needs to be said, like there's definitely lucky energy here as far as like it being a good time to initiate that communication. And then we have a new start is coming, especially if that communication is around a new start. You're wanting a new start with somebody or with something. That is definitely smiled upon here. We have 3 new moon cards in the new moon reading. I love that. So this energy is it's very powerful. Yes, this is a whole fresh new start, like a completely blank slate is being offered to people if they're willing to step up and take it. And then prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. Yes, beautiful. That's what this is, right? And so this is prosperity in whatever way you are desiring prosperity. Like we said, where is that abundance? Where is it that you have been seeking that abundance? There is a path forward that is being revealed. And so it's all about just really dedicating to that. Dedicating yourself to that path, 110%. Remember, both feet in. We have new moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. And a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. And what do you need to release on the bottom of the deck, right? So this is those energies that are coming up, that are being shown with that Mars Chiron square, right? Where there may still be things that we need to release. Conclusions are within reach, right? But this is all new. All the cards that popped out here, new moon, new moon. I don't know if I've ever done a reading where it was all one type of moon, and all, including the new moon that we're reading on, without any other type of energies present. So that's like, this is really, really beautiful, potent manifesting energy, creating energy of bringing things in, right? And so for some people, it's definitely, there is love and romance on the mind. There is a new start wanting to be initiated in love and romance, and the energy is here supporting that. And also, if there are family dynamics at play, just a reminder that you and your loved ones are safe. If there's anything going on with that, say people have children, they're worried about the safety, the security, the stability of the children, any of that type of stuff. Just the home environment in general, people that they care about, anywhere where there's concern over that, like there's assurance coming in here too, they are all taken care of. So that is not something that if that's been something that's been holding things back or that's been worrying you, that's a concern that you can, I mean, obviously you still take the steps to ensure that everyone is safe and secure and cared for. But it's not something you need to be overly concerned about and getting in an anxious sort of, like that 9 of Swords kind of, 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords kind of mentality about it's going to be okay. And you are safe. More than anything else, that's what I'm feeling from this card right now. You are safe. And so I feel like there's some people who've been holding themselves back when it comes to love, when it comes to connection, because you've been afraid that you're not going to be safe, that your heart is not going to be safe. And so that's a major message coming through, is your heart is safe. It's safe to open up, right? It's safe to love. It's safe to allow this new start to come about, right? Because there's been this major transformation. And so anything that starts right now in this energy is like with that heavy transformation energy present, is likely to be transformed or to have been transformed. All right, I'm trying to figure out, I think that feels pretty good for this reading, you guys. Yeah, that feels pretty, you guys, you can see me looking already. I'm like, is there a final card that I want to pull here? Is there a final card? Let's see. Yeah, we'll pull a Beyond Lemuria card to close. Clear. Final guidance for this new moon in Taurus. What final guidance do we have? Yeah, this is also talk about this is a balance, right? Because we don't want to talk too much about what it is that we're doing. There's definitely an energy, or there's definitely something to be said for moving in silence, right? And being kind of low key about what we're doing, so we're not getting all kinds of people's different energies in the mix as we're creating things. But talk to who you're guided to talk to about the things that you're doing and trying to accomplish. Especially where like business and stuff is concerned, because you may find connections in places that you didn't expect, or assistance in places that you didn't respect. So don't play it too close to your chest. That's another energy with this communication energy as well. Practice your discernment, right? We've been using discernment. We don't necessarily want to put it up all over the place. Because there is, they talk about this, especially when you're working with magic and intention and stuff like that, that if those energies of people Like you take in the energies into your manifestation of all the people who have judgments or thoughts about it. But at the same time, you want to communicate with the people that you're guided to communicate. When you're guided to share something, when it comes up, just pay attention to the opportunities to share your vision with people, with the people that you're guided to share it with, because I feel like there may be assistance able to come through for people in terms of that. And then we have gracious receptivity coming out. So this is that energy of gratitude that we were talking about, right? That energy of being receptive. And we have the Earth Star Chakra, initiation. Ooh. All right, let's see here. Yes, gratitude, receptivity. How worthiness and self-love can affect your capacity to receive and to give without depletion. Thriving over surviving. Gifting economies. One of the best tricks for bringing something into your life is to be already thankful for it as if it has already arrived, right? We talk about this all the time. This sets up the frequency of fullness and plenty rather than emptiness and need. And this can be applied to all areas of our lives, anything we're wanting to bring in. As we have mentioned before, like attracts like, but there is a whole other power at play here, as true gratitude is anchored in the heart. Being moved by the sheer awe and appreciation and thankfulness is hugely pivotal to the way others and our environment responds to us. The next step is to give from our hearts without being asked or invited. When we emanate a field of new earth consciousness, giving can free us from expectation, just by knowing that we can all thrive together when everything flows as a system of gifting. Yes, others may take advantage, but if you drop the fear out of this outcome, it is quite likely that those of this frequency will also fall away. Holding up a beacon of light this way creates incentive and inspiration to those around you. As their cup fills, it unlocks space for them for resources in other areas. Thus, this giving overflow has a domino effect from person to person. Receptivity is a critical factor in the art of giving. Those who struggle to feel they have the resources to give may also have trouble receiving. Some do not feel worthy enough to receive, even from themselves. And remember, this Taurus energy is all about value and worthiness. As mentioned, heart energy is key to gratitude and receptivity. Here it brings us to self-love and how important it is for feeling full enough so that our overflow doesn't deplete. When you allow yourself to receive from those in their heart's joyous overflow and give from a place beyond expectation or obligation, a whole new paradigm reveals itself. You will discover a new way of thriving. Giving and receptivity is a two-way flow. We talk about this all the time, right? Each allows space for the other. When we are in our hearts, we have limitless resources, and that starts with gratitude. Could gifting economies be the seed for a more joyful new paradigm of making the world go round? And I think we think so, right? Yeah. And this also goes, so it's really about looking at our relationship with gratitude, looking at our relationship with giving, with receiving, and just really seeing where we're at as far as that goes, and working at allowing ourselves to become more receptive, to become more gracious, to become more giving, and to really, we've been learning that balance for a really long time, right? And then the Earth Star Chakra is the first card in this deck. Giving from that open heart space. We talked about this, right? Being of service. Service is love in action. Right? And then Earth Star. Foundations, grounding, basic needs, survival, physical identity, responsibility is the place where we build our lives in time and nature. This image speaks of finding home within yourself, a deep sense of inner peace and a strong sense of grounding and being centered. And is that not what Taurus energy represents? Right? Is that not the goal that we were talking about? Here you can be released from the grips of survival into a place of thriving. There is trust, connection to community, and you can rely on others and joyfully understand your responsibilities in turn. You are held and have strong foundations for all aspects of life. With your guard down, you have the tools to ride the waves if you need. Everything is okay. And so this is that foundation, right? This is really perfect when we're talking about building that firm foundation, being centered, being present in the moment, feeling that stability, that security, right? We are beginning to manifest it on the outside. We manifest that more and more on the outside as we feel it more and more within. And so building that firm foundation, that sense of security and stability within ourselves that then radiates out into the world. This is really that energy of learning how to meet our own needs. And then as we learn how to meet our own needs, right, with the help of spirit, that opens up the gates of abundance as well. Learning how to meet our own needs, but also being open to receiving whatever assistance others want to give us, of course, right? That giving and receiving energy. Yeah, so this is really gorgeous. And this also, these cards together talk about conscious communities, right? And so we may see the start or the next level of fruition around building conscious communities. I know that there are so many who want to create these communities where people can come together and heal and grow and learn and love and just be in that space together, that gracious, receptive space together. And so we could see some of those new earth communities really beginning to come into form, into fruition as well. There could be paths being revealed forward in those areas. And then, of course, and this is perfect with the Realm Bridger card, right? Playing right into that. Visionaries, architects of the future. And then this is also about information from other realms, inspiration, seeding a new earth, birthing ideas from subtle reality, and journeying. So that card goes absolutely perfect as well with the downloads and the information we talked about coming in, with the communities that we are seeding, the new visions that we are creating and birthing right now. Really bridging the seen and the unseen. Being that creative visionary. Bringing what is in here into fruition out here. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that you have a beautiful new moon and really make the most of these gorgeous energies. I will see some of you at the new moon manifesting ceremony on Tuesday nights. I love you all. I appreciate you so very, very much. If you like this video, hit that like button. It does help these videos get out to more people, but we always trust that exactly who is meant to hear the message will hear it in the perfect version of the now for them. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. My email is also down below with a description of the different services that I offer. So reach out to me if you would like any assistance. It is my honor and privilege to work with you guys one-on-one in that way. I love each and every one of you. You are capable of so much. Really see that, feel into that, become that knowing right now. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.